Okay, tell me if this looks familiar. Bone broth, pork rinds, ground beef, eggs, cream cheese, and of course an optional ingredient, a splash of heavy cream. Do you have any of these sitting in your fridge or pantry right now? If you do, you're in luck, because today we're making carnivore-style egg bites that throw Starbucks bacon Gruyere bites out of the water. Not only are these little guys densely packed with clean nutrition, but they're also way easier on your pocketbook, and honestly, they taste even better. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment, just simple ingredients, some ramekins, and a couple minutes of prep with an air fryer. So let's grease up those ramekins and dive into today's test kitchen recipe, because once you try these carnivore egg bites, you'll never look back. Hey Carnivore Tribe, I'm trying a new pedestal to hold my camera on. It looks like it's a little bit shaky, but we'll see how it works. I don't know, I haven't been able to figure out like the eye lens contact for the camera yet, but just I'm bringing you the goods at least. I might not be looking right at you, but at least I'm bringing you the goods. So today I want to share a recipe that I actually haven't done yet. It's kind of a test kitchen today. And I want to see, because years ago when I was keto, I used to do this cheeseburger casserole, I think it was called, and it was keto friendly. So a lot of those ingredients are also carnivore friendly. A few of them are not, so I'm not going to include those. And I feel like, you know, a casserole, but something that is small enough that I can add to the side of a steak, or if I feel like having something with my eggs or whatever it might be, just a side to add some variety again. I find after being in Canada and coming back home, I feel like I'm missing options or missing alternatives on my plate. I don't want to eat a plate of just all steak. I'm looking for some variety on my plate, which is actually a good thing because we're going to get different nutrients from different things, such as if I have hamburger with a little bit of liver or a little bit of heart, it's all going to give me different things. So today, bear with me, it's a test recipe, but not only do I want to make a casserole, but I do not want to make it in my oven in this heat. It's what, I think 35 degrees in here right now. I'm hoping to cool it down. I just turned on the air con to 28. So hopefully that'll help while we're cooking, but I do not want to use the stove. Or the oven, I should say. So I'm going to do a little bit of stovetop prep. I'm going to put these all into ramekins, and then I'm going to test out my Ninja air fryer / grill and see how best to bake this in there. So a complete experiment today. If you're interested in having something different that has a lot of protein and good fat in it, there's an option to use dairy or not use dairy. It's very a forgiving recipe, and that's why I figure I'm going to do the test kitchen today and just see how it turns out. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start by warming up the pan, and I have a pound of ground beef ready to use. So we're just basically adding the ground beef to the hot pan that has the bacon fat grease in it. And we're just going to fry this up till we have pretty well no pink left. Really happy with this addition to the household. I found these in Canada, nice little carrying container. With the fine salt, and it's refillable, which I'm really excited about. The simple things in life help to make a girl happy. Okay, and the beef is looking pretty well done. Don't see any pink left, so I'm going to add the 4 ounces of cream cheese. Again, you don't have to use this. This is an optional ingredient, but I like just the creaminess of it, and I do handle cheese okay as long as I don't eat too much of it. And some weeks I decide not to have any, but majority of weeks, like I said, I do have it at least, I'd say 3 times in my meals. Just to add more protein, more fats. So we'll mix this in, and I'll just keep stirring until the cream cheese has melted and it's incorporated with all of the ground beef. A lot of times I find if you put the cube closer to the bottom of the pan rather than on top of the ground beef, it does mix in a little better because I guess it warms up the cream cheese on the pan. rather than waiting for the heat to rise through the ground beef. But as you can see in here, it's incorporating really well. Okay, now we added about half a cup of my frozen bone broth. I get full chickens in the Pueblo, in the small town here in the neighborhood, and they sell it with like the head, the feet, everything except the feathers. So I have them pretty well, you know, cut it up for me, but I ask to keep the chicken feet and the wings and everything. And then I bring it home and I put it in the Instapot and boil it down till the bones are pretty well nothing. And I get this really nutritious, gelatinous bone broth, and so much of it that I put it in individual bags at about half a cup each. And whenever I need that, or I feel like having some bone broth just to drink, they're easy peasy to grab from the freezer. So that's what I did with this one. I'm just going to melt it down and incorporate it a little bit, bring everything back up to a warm temperature, and then shut off the heat. Looks like we're almost there. Not quite. With the cheese and the gelatin from the bone broth here, it's going to be creamy, creamy goodness in these casseroles. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Going to leave it at that. Oops, take it off the heat, and once it cools down a little bit, then we'll add the egg mixture. Okay, and I cut up some bacon. I'm gonna use this as a topper, and might even throw some in just before or while I'm adding the egg mixture. I haven't decided yet. I'll wait to see what epiphanies come to me, but at least I have it ready to throw wherever I need it. Always gotta have bacon. It's good added fat for me. It definitely helps me break my weight loss stalls by adding lots of fat to my meals. Of course, you always have to be careful, because if you're eating too much fat that your body can't handle and it needs to store it, well, then guess what? You're not gonna lose weight. But everybody's different, so I suggest just trying it and seeing, you know, where your sweet spot is. And my sweet spot even changes. Like some weeks I can do well on eating a pound of bacon a day, and then the next week, no, I don't crave it as much. I might eat a pound over 2 or 3 days, and I just continue to listen to my body. And then if I feel like I'm either getting a little backed up, meaning I feel like I'm constipated, feel like I gotta go, but can't, then I know I have to increase my fats again, whether that's bacon or butter. You know, just listen to your body. Everybody's different. Okay, next we're gonna do the egg prep. The pan is on the stove, just cooling down a bit. I just spilled the shell in there. I learned a trick, and they said if you stick your finger in water and then put it in the egg mixture wherever the shell is, and guess what? It does work, but they kind of lied. They made it look a lot simpler than before, or than it is right now. Okay, actually that didn't work too bad. Okay, got 2 of the little shells out, so we're good there. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my cream, which was a 1/4 cup of cream. Again, if you don't do dairy, you really don't need to add the cream. It's fine without. What I would suggest though is, instead of just mixing by hand, I would get your emulsion blender, is it called? And really froth it up as best you can. Or I wonder if you could froth these in your frother on the cold setting, maybe. That would also work. But because I'm adding cream, it'll add a lightness to the eggs and also some more good fat for me. I only add a little bit though, because it still has a tad bit of sugar, which is no bueno, but every once in a while I can add a little bit and not throw myself off. So for now, it's good. Okay, so that's basically all we do with that. So let's recap. We've got the pound of hamburger. We've got the 1/4 cup of bone broth that was thrown in there. We've got bacon ready to throw somewhere. I just mixed up 3 eggs with a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, mixed that all together. So now we're gonna go back over to the ground beef that has the sour cream in it and the bone broth. And the sour cream can be anywhere from 2 tablespoons to half that brick. It's totally up to you. Again, I don't eat a lot of dairy every single day, so I find I, can handle it well and not get very much or get no inflammation from it if I do add it to my diet throughout the week. But it's maybe 2, 3 meals at the max that I might add some cheese, and it's really not, a lot. This recipe will have a lot compared to what I'm used to. But again, I just want it as a little side. I want it as a quick grab and go from the freezer. Can heat it up on the road or something, or even like put it in foil and set it on the beach. And while I'm swimming in the ocean, my breakfast is warming up. Like, how cool would that be? Just to spend extra moments down at the beach. So let's get back over to the ground beef. Okay, and here we are. Still quite warm. I don't want the eggs to cook until I put them into the air fryer. So I am gonna wait for some of this to cool down just a little bit more, but I would suggest that you stir it every, I don't know, it's been here for maybe 5 minutes. I would definitely stir it every 5 minutes just so things don't get hardened and dried out in a way. Don't know if it would taste that way, but it sure looked like it was going that way. Okay, so we'll just wait a little longer for this to cool down. Maybe I'll put it in some mounds and we'll be back. Okay, and while that's cooling down, I'm just gonna warm up the Ninja air fryer, or grill, I should call it. We'll do bake, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for, let's say, 30 minutes. We can definitely check it halfway through. So I'm just gonna keep the pan in there so I can put the ramekins right on the bottom there. I'm wondering if I should put water in the basin. I don't think I'll need to. With cheesecake, I would. I'm gonna try without water. Let's hope that wasn't the wrong decision. Again, it's test kitchen today. Okay, so we're back and our good old air fryer is already warmed up. This is still holding heat, but I think it's cool enough now. Let me just test it with my finger. Thank God it's only me eating this. Woo, that's salty. So word of caution, if you're gonna add that much cream cheese, because the cream cheese is salty, this is very salty, and I also salted the beef. It's still edible, like really edible for me because I love salt, but anyone who is not used to that amount of salt, I definitely wouldn't add any extra salt aside from the cream cheese. If you don't add the cream cheese at all, then I would salt your meat. Okay, so this is the egg mixture. Just gonna pour it in and amongst. Actually, I don't want to use that in there, it's kind of gross. I'll just do it with this and mix that all amongst the burger. So remember, there's cream cheese in here, egg, bone broth, some salt, and I am gonna add a little bit of bacon in amongst here, and then I'm gonna keep some of it for toppings as well. So maybe half. Creamy goodness already. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to the separate ramekins, and that's what's gonna go into the air fryer. And then I will top with cheese. Yeah, I will top with cheese and bacon, and maybe at the end, I'm even gonna top off with a little bit of pork rind to get extra crunch. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to try to evenly spread this out. Add a little bit at first, see how far it goes. Of course, I want an even spread too of ground beef and the egg mixture, just so it's not all ground beef. It looks like I'm going to be able to easily get 4 ramekins out of this. Okay, that's looking good. And if you recall, I I added a lot of bacon fat grease to the edges of the ramekins, so when they puff up in the air fryer, when this puffs up in the air fryer, it won't stick to the edge of the ramekin. Okay, so it's not perfect, so I am going to take a little bit of liquid out of one of these, this one here, and transfer it over to this one. That looks pretty good there, I think. And if you recall, I was saving a little bit of the bacon to use as a topper. So actually I'm gonna do the cheese first. You could use any cheese, blue cheese or Parmesan. I have tons of mozzarella that I don't typically have, so I'm kind of just wanting to use it up before it does go bad, which of course would probably take a couple of weeks, but I figure I might as well start using it up. So top it with cheese. Again, this is optional. If you have, you know, inflammation issues, you might want to stay away from dairy for the first while until your body heals a little bit. And once it starts healing, then you can handle the dairy a little better and slowly introduce it back. That's what I had to do. And even now, I try to stay away from dairy most days. I might have it, a couple times a week, like maybe 3 of my meals in total might have some form of dairy, whether it's cheese or heavy cream. But that should be good. Okay, top it with a little bit of bacon. I'm gonna wait with this. I'm gonna see how it starts bubbling up and frying up. And I can always add that bacon at the last minute because it's pre-cooked. Okay, so let's get these babies into the air fryer. That's not gonna work, gotta offset them a bit. Ooh. Don't let them slip, out of your hands, greasy. Okay, 30 minutes. Let's pray and hope and everything else that we're gonna have amazing lunch today. Woohoo! Well, I thought I'd check them because they're starting to smell good. They've been in for about half the time. Whew. They might be done. Definitely cheesy. I would say a little bit more, but they're getting a nice crusty top, which is why I wanted to put pork rinds on, so I definitely won't need to put pork rinds on. And because it's so crusty, I don't think I'll add the bacon even. So next time I would add all the bacon to the inner part of the casserole for sure. But let's finish these up with a few more minutes and we'll check them again. You know when you have that feeling that things are cooking faster than you thought they might? So we're coming down to the 10-minute mark. So that'll be 20 minutes that these ramekins have been in the air fryer at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am going to sacrifice one of the ramekins and take them out. And I think I'll do this one because it's, well, this one maybe because it's not the largest and about the average, I'd say. So I'm going to let that rest, and in 5 minutes I will break into this bad boy. Honestly, like just from seeing the edges and how bubbly they are, I'd say it's done. So I'm not going to continue air frying the other ones, but I will keep them in the warmth just in case I need to restart the air fryer. Okay, let's get a spoon. You can see the edges are bubbling. I'm wondering if I'd even be able to pop it out. Oh yeah, look at that. It's just moving in the ramekin. So it's just a matter of whether the innards are fully cooked. Try the toothpick again. I'm getting little pieces, but it looks as though it could be cheese. So let's go for it and see. Oh yeah, it's done. And it's hot. Whew. So I'm gonna let this baby cool down a bit. I'm still gonna put a couple of the pieces of bacon on top. And let's let this cool down and we'll enjoy it together, and I'll give you my rating of it, whether it was worth the time or not. My intention with these is to throw them, like get them out of the ramekin and throw them into a container in the freezer, and a single like to-go container, so that I could take this either on the beach or on a car ride and have something instead of stopping at Starbucks and getting their Gruyère bites for, I think they're like almost $10 now Canadian. And this is a much healthier version because I know exactly what's gone into it. So let's rest this a little bit more. I don't want to burn my mouth, and I'll give you an update in a second. I just also want to do a disclaimer here because I just burnt my fingers on this ramekin thinking, oh, I'll just move it off to the edge and add a few more onto the cutting board for the video, forgetting that they're stinking hot. So yeah, make sure you wear a good oven mitt to move these babies around until they fully cool down. This one is gorgeous. Just, you can see all the sizzling happening around it. So I'm officially taking them all out of the air fryer now. So in other words, maximum time in the air fryer at 350 was 20 minutes for me at my altitude and humidity and everything else. So I'm sure yours will be close. I think I'll just get these all off their edges while they're hot. This is amazing. It definitely looks like one of those Starbucks egg bites. Blah, say that 3 times fast. So I'm excited about these, and also excited to see how they turn out after being frozen. Okay, let's try these, or at least this one bad boy. And again, make sure you wear an oven mitt. These babies are hot. Holy. I don't know what I look like. It's still pretty hot in here. Yeah, we're at 30 degrees in here. But let's try this. So still steaming hot. It's got hamburger, cream cheese, bone broth, egg, mozzarella cheese. Did I miss anything? Bacon, cheddar cheese. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's try it. Okay, loving this idea. Wow, and it stays so hot. So I'm going to absolutely wait till these chill and cool down to like cold. And then I'm gonna pack them in the freezer. There's a lot of meat in here, but the cheese is holding it all together, and obviously the egg. It doesn't seem too eggy. Like I find the Gruyère bites, I think they are, bacon Gruyère bites at Starbucks are very eggy. I mean, that's okay if that's what you want, but I like the meatiness of this, and I love that it has good fat. Oh yeah, it has heavy whipping cream in there too. So it has a lot of good fats in here. And the one thing, like I just got a call from a friend and says, hey, you want to go to the beach? And I'm like, yeah, let me just finish making my casserole and finishing the video and I'll be there. So my life right now, because I'm starting to feel so good, is really starting to become spontaneous, which is what I love. For years, I haven't been able to be spontaneous. I've had to plan 3 days in a row, basically, if not more, depending on how taxing that event might be. If it's a grocery shop, 3 days of rest. If it was a wedding, probably a week, if not more. I need to totally do nothing ahead of time and afterwards. So the fact that now I have the energy to start living life again, and I have to make time to do these videos and share my success with you, and I also have to find time to find out who I am again, who I want to be, what I want to do, what excites me, what livens the spirit within me. And definitely going to the beach is one of those, and jumping into the beautiful water here, being one with the land. Oh, I just love it. But there's so many other things too that I want to experience. So I want to get in the habit of making carnivore friendly meals that are easy to pop in the freezer after making them. And then when I need them, they're easy to grab and go. And like, honestly, I could see myself putting this in foil and just laying it beside my beach bag, and within an hour it would be warm to be able to eat it. Like, that's the kind of living I'm looking forward to. So, bon appetit everyone, or should I say, buen provecho, and I hope you decide to make it. And if you do a few variations, let me know. I'm open to ideas. Wishing you all bacon-scented blessings for the week ahead, and love you lots. Talk to you later. Bye. Get some of this in before I go to the beach. Maybe I'll take it with me. Options, gotta love it. Bye.
Stick on my my plate, it's a dream come true. Butter melting down like morning dew.